We see the vein, right, Severin?
Yes.
You can add that HD in post, right? 12.5 inches, never looked so good. What's cracking, guys? Omar Usaf back with another video. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a coach? It's okay if you don't. I am going to give you a simple diagnostic tool, self-diagnostic tool, in order to evaluate your form and try and make it better. We're going to talk about tempo. Before we do that, let me quickly just say, because it's Cyber Monday, Neuromancer, we're on the internet right here. We're jacking into the cyber mainframe. My pre-workout, which you guys seem to enjoy because it is backed by research, it's cost-effective, and it's full of no junk whatsoever, just what works in the right ingredients for a great price. We have here the pre-workout, this 200 milligrams, that is discounted 30% off. It's up to 30% off, no discount necessary. It's already applied. You get, for 30 servings, you get 8 grams of citrulline malate, 5 grams of creatine monohydrate, 4 grams of beta-alanine, 200 milligrams, and a lifelong addiction to creatine, 200 milligrams of caffeine. We also launched a new flavor, strawberry lemonade, when life gives you lemons. Hit a fucking PR. 300 milligrams. That's also 15% off, so it's 27 bucks. You guys know from buying pre-workouts. Once again, these are just ingredients that work, backed by research. Last but not least, we also launched a multivitamin made in conjunction with Dr. Peter Fishin, who has a PhD in nutritional sciences. Once again, more bioavailable sources. If you are deficient, if you are a bro, all you eat is, Pop-Tarts and protein powder, you're probably deficient in some vitamins and minerals. For 60 servings, 60 days, it's $15. Yeah, I know, we did all right. So link to that is in the description. Check it out. Anyways, back to the video. Tempo. Tempo is really important. This is a great heuristic. So let's call it a dirty, simple rule that'll apply for most of you. And that is, if your tempo, when you do tempo movement, so a tempo movement, you could change it any which way you want. For the purpose of this video, it'll be roughly 3 to 5 seconds on the way down, 3 to 5 seconds on the way up. You'd gradually work your way up to about 50 to 60% of your 1 rep max for a set of 5, and you'd observe your form. Because let me ask you this question. Do you notice that your form, there's some degradation that tends to occur as you get into higher percentages? Or if you're not aware, something might happen, like maybe your hips shoot back on the squat, on the deadlift, a similar idea, on the bench press, maybe your elbows flare. That's not inherently bad, but if you notice you have one form and then things tend to get sloppier as the weight goes up, let's try and figure out why. If you could do a tempo movement correctly, so with the same form that you do at 70%, then likely you need to be acclimated to heavier weights, and I'd recommend incorporating singles into your training. But if on the other hand, and this is a lot of people, I've taken a lot of people out on the gym floor and I've tested this, if you try 30-40% of your 1 rep max on the squat, but you slow the tempo down and you notice where your hips will tend to shoot up at 80%, it happens once again at 30 to 40% or 50% of your 1 rep max, just when you slow it down. That's not a muscle imbalance or a muscle weakness. It's just you having a shitty wiring with your form, not being conscious, and that's okay, with your technique as you move in a 3D space. We often ingrain motor patterns, whether we know it or not, and we tend to favor those. So think about it like this. When we're lifting a weight, we're not thinking of the 35 Qs. Hopefully not. It's impossible. Your body's naturally moving. You have a kinesthetic sense of awareness. Your body's moving on its own accord. And sometimes it's not a weakness. It's just a patterning you've done in the past. So if I would put forth, if you do tempo work and you notice that form degradation occurs at such a light percentage load of your 1 rep max, you're not weak, you just have sloppy technique, and that's okay. I'm guilty of this. I think we all are to some extent. What you can do at 50% of your 1 rep max, do 3 to 4 sets of 5 repetitions on an off day. So a third bonus day on the bench or squat or deadlift, whatever you need to troubleshoot, and then gradually build up the percentage as technique improves. So if you can't do 50% with crisp technique, on the way down, on the way up, kind of like an elevator, go down in percentages. If on the other hand, your tempo work looks flawless, so I'm talking 50, 60%, you do 3 to 5 seconds on the way down, 3 to 5 seconds on the way up, and it looks good, I think you might need to acclimate towards doing heavier weight, and that's where singles, once again, teach that, because it's a different animal. You're getting hyped up, you're probably not thinking nearly as much when you lift, and that's okay. That form degradation could be as a result of you just not practicing with heavy weights. So this is a simple test for everyone out there. Is it you just having sloppy technique inherently and not working on it, in which case tempo work, I think, is a fantastic utility tool that you can utilize in order to make your form better. Or are you just not used to heavy work, in which case move on, incorporate a single 85% plus, do 1 repetition before you do your volume work for the day, and then gradually increase that percentage over time. That would help you out. But I would say for most people out there, between these two options, you can figure it out and you can improve your form. I think we naturally self-organize towards better technique. This is a way of kind of accelerating that, because most individuals that want to lift a lot of weight, we become technicians over time. We want to have a more efficient bar path. We want to have a more homogeneous movement where it's more repeatable. Anyways, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure to like the damn video. And last but not least, that pre-workout, once again, just what works in the right doses for a great price. Ouroboros Nutrition, link to that in the description. It ends, everything's 30% off. Check it out. I'll catch all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace. You ever think about the fact that we got millions of innocent kids addicted to a harmful substance?
They knew what they were getting into.
But at what cost? At what cost?
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.